Beginning in early May, Fairweb began releasing response videos to my earlier video, MoonFaker Exhibit D. The films he's released thus far are selective and misleading, to put mildly, and I will be addressing them all thoroughly in due time.
Selective and misleading. Each of my videos focuses on a specific claim or a small set of related claims, and my discussion of each claim tends to stay on subject. I don't jump all over the place like Jarrah usually does, if that's what he means by selective.
For now, there is one I can discuss. Interestingly, he has not even publicly released it yet. On May 26, 2010, one of my friends on YouTube managed to dig up the link to one of his upcoming videos.
I find it interesting that there is only one video that he's prepared to discuss, one that he had to dig up the link to. At the time he had discovered my Unlisted video, I had publicly released my first 7 videos critiquing his Exhibit D series that he is yet unable to challenge.
It seems on May 21, Webb released his video on the Australian tracking stations. The video is currently not publicly available on his site.
I am not trying to nitpick at everything that Jarrah said here, but the title page to my video clearly states that it was about Parkes. Not about the Australian tracking stations in general, but Parkes. Not NASA's tracking stations in Goldstone, Canberra, or Madrid, but Australian-owned Parkes. Not ham radio operators, but Parkes. Parkes, Parkes, Parkes.
I can only guess that he produces these videos and then releases them to his friends in advance. Oh well, might as well catch him with his pants down.
So he caught me with my pants down? First off, the pre-release version of my Parkes video was not private. If the video were private, then young Jarrah never would have gotten his hands on it to begin with. As Jarrah very well knows, private videos are only available to up to 25 YouTube accounts that you designate. Before May 13, 2010, YouTube only had 2 video options, public and private. But on that Thursday, YouTube introduced the Unlisted video option. It's basically the same as public, except that, as Jarrah's friend pointed out, the video doesn't show up in public lists or search results. It doesn't even get attached to your personal channel or the browse page. It's like having an unlisted telephone number. If you have the link, you can view it. Otherwise, you should never know it's there. So on May 21st, 2010, a celebratory day in my life, I posted my Parkes video with the new Unlisted option, and the experiment began. The people I had invited to view the video all watched it between May 21st and May 23rd. Then, thanks to one of Jarrah's sock puppet accounts, or one of his little troll buddies maybe, who was actively dumpster diving on other people's accounts, my video had a second flurry of activity over a 5-day period starting May 26th, and half of the unique YouTube accounts that viewed my video over those 5 days were from Australia. That's right, Jarrah. I was watching you watch my video. That sounds like a Johnny Depp movie, doesn't it? It's like watching someone look in your bedroom window when they don't know you're home. My Parkes video had 99 hits within 12 days of when I put it up, more than many of my publicly released videos in that much time, and double the usual number of my privately posted videos. The fact that Jarrah was able to post a 4-part rebuttal on May 29th, only 3 days after he was first told about my video, means that Jarrah has way too much time on his hands to pump out YouTube videos. Of course, how could he pass up an opportunity to catch me with my pants down? So, what was Jarrah able to uncover in his 4-part rebuttal to a non-public video? Honeysuckle Creek turned off their receiver about a minute after Parkes came online.
Sorry to interrupt, but there is no record that Honeysuckle Creek switched off their receiving equipment after Parkes supposedly picked up the signal. Allegedly, Honeysuckle Creek continued to receive videos even after Parkes came online, including the videos of the Apollo 11 crew dumping their used portable life support systems down the ladder. In fact, Honeysuckle Creek engineer Ed von Renward recorded the supposed live feed off the monitors using his home movie camera.
I want to thank Jarrah for catching this particular mistake that I made in the pre-release of my Parkes video. As my intent is to make my publicly released videos factual, I appreciate his input and I will correct my video before I release it. I have found that pre-releasing my videos for peer review has helped tremendously in catching rather embarrassing mistakes like this before making them public. According to the list I've kept, 7 of the videos I've released publicly so far originally contained errors that were caught during review. This happens when you use Wikipedia and other internet sources as your primary references, as I have. For example, in critique number 5, I originally used what I thought was an image of Mount Everest that I found during a Google search. It was nice to have a geographer in my peer group who immediately identified the image as the Matterhorn, and I was able to correct my video before making it public. Don't get me wrong, the internet is full of useful information, but sometimes that information is mislabeled. As desperate as Jarrah is to discredit my work, he would have had a field day over my making such a simple mistake as putting up the wrong mountain. I understand that Jarrah will probably call foul for changing my video, insinuating that doing so makes me dishonest in some small way, but I beg to differ. Jarrah viewed a draft copy of my Parkes video. If it were ready for prime time, then I would have already released it publicly. The truth is that scientists and engineers normally perform scholarly peer reviews of their work before publication. When dealing with facts, it's relatively easy for others to check your work. Hey guys, did I do the math right? Did I start with the correct equations? Did I apply the proper scientific principles to the problem? Is my order of events accurate? Did I get my facts right? Is performing a peer review the same as cheating? Jarrah might look at it that way. Since his videos don't deal with verifiable facts, it would be difficult for him to perform a similar exercise with his cohorts. What could Jarrah's peer group really check? Hey guys, did I do a great job of misrepresenting the facts or what? Did I adequately ignore the multitude of glaring facts that contradict my claims? Did I sufficiently misquote my token expert, or do you think I could make him sound even more stupid? Even though some of Jarrah's buds claim to be degreed experts in their respective fields, they apparently don't possess the basic skills required to critically evaluate Jarrah's work. At least, he doesn't appear to trust them to do that, and since his claims are founded in nothing more than half-truths and innuendo at best, any appraisal of his claims made by his followers would ultimately result in their discovery of the truth, which wouldn't help Jarrah's case at all. In this respect, Jarrah is truly on his own. I will touch on some of the other points that Jarrah makes in his Australia and the Conspirators videos before continuing with my critique of his Exhibit D series. Ciao, Moon Hoax Conspirators, wherever you are.